Citibank has now released 2 new credit cards and now has American Airlines as a transfer partner, making Citi's point currency a lot more valuable. Now this raises the question, which combination of Citi credit cards should you hold and which one should you avoid? TLDR, the Citi Strata Premier, Citi Double Cash, and as many Citi Custom Cashes as you can acquire. Maybe sprinkle in the Citi Strata and AA Platinum Select card. Now for those of you with a longer attention span, I'll be doing quick overviews for each of these cards and then ranking them into 3 tiers: the must-haves, the nice-to-haves, and the cards to avoid. And finally, I'll be going over my personal plan on which cards I plan on getting and in which order. So starting off with the Citi Strata Elite card, this card comes with a $595 annual fee, and then you can earn 80,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months of account opening. As for the multipliers, it's kind of lackluster to be honest. The only real things to note is 1.5x on all purchases, 3x on dining, 6x on dining on Fridays and Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and then just some travel portal multipliers. You get $300 off a 2-night stay when booked through Citi Travel, $200 when spending money at American Airlines, Best Buy, Live Nation, which also includes Ticketmaster, so that credit's pretty good. $200 Black Lane credit, which is like a concierge service, which most people probably aren't going to use. So just looking at the credits real quick, I'd probably only be able to use the $200 splurge credit. You also do get Priority Pass and Admirals Club access, but that's only 4 passes to the Admirals Club. And of course, you can transfer your points over to American Airlines or a bunch of other partners. Moving on, we have the Citi Strata Premier card, and this card comes with only a $95 annual fee, and you can get this card with a 60,000 point sign-up bonus after spending the same $4,000 in 3 months of account opening. Now, this card probably has the best multipliers out of any credit card in general. You get 3x on air travel and hotel purchases, 3x on dining, 3x on supermarkets, and 3x on gas stations. And of course, 1x on everything else. But these are some really good multipliers. You also get a $100 hotel benefit after spending $500 on a prepaid stay through Citi Travel. I could see some people using this credit pretty easily, but for me, I don't know if I'm booking $500 hotels in cash all the time, so that would be a very niche scenario for me. Then we have the $0 annual fee Citi Strata card that comes with a 30,000 point sign-up bonus after spending only $1,000 in the first 3 months of account opening. These multipliers are pretty standard: 3x on supermarkets and gas stations, 2x on dining, and 1x on everything else. The only real special thing about this card is that you can earn 3x points on a self-select category of your choice. And these include fitness clubs, select streaming services, live entertainment, cosmetic stores, barbershops, hair salons, or pet supply stores. So I could definitely see some people getting use out of this card. Now we have the Citi Double Cash that comes with a $200 cashback sign-up bonus after spending $1,500 in the first 6 months of account opening. Now obviously this $200 can be converted to 20,000 thank you points. And as for multipliers, you're earning 2% back on everything across the board. So this would be your catch-all card. Next up, we have the Citi Custom Cash, which you can earn a $200 bonus, or really, like I said, 20,000 Citi points after you spend $1,500 in the first 6 months of account opening. Now this card's pretty OP in the fact that you can earn 5x on your top eligible spend category every month up to $500. Now there's 10 categories to choose from, with dining, gas stations, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, select streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. So you can see how this card can be super powerful. And lastly, we have the Citi AA Platinum Select card, where you can earn 80,000 bonus miles after spending $3,500 in your first 4 months of account opening. Now this is an elevated sign-up bonus, but I think the standard is like 60,000 points, so still not terrible if you missed this. This card has a $0 intro annual fee for its first year, and then after you have to pay $99. But with the benefits of this card, it's pretty easy to justify, giving you your first check bag free on domestic itineraries, and that's for both ways. You also get preferred boarding, which for American Airlines is Group 5, and lastly, 25% savings on in-flight food and beverages. Now I definitely wouldn't recommend spending on this card, as you're only earning 2x on dining, gas stations, and American Airlines purchases, whereas on the Citi Strata Premier, you're earning 3x on all of those. Now I'm going to split this next part of the video into 3 sections: the must-haves, nice-to-haves, and cards you should avoid. Must-haves. Starting the must-haves off right with the Citi Custom Cash. I already went over everything this card has to offer, so pretty much it speaks for itself. Getting 5% on your top eligible spend categories such as dining, groceries, or gas stations sounds almost too good to be true, making this card such an easy decision to apply for. But the real power of this card really comes from having more than one of them. Now you can accomplish getting multiple of these cards in various ways, but most commonly through a product change from another card. And once you have multiples of these cards, you can effectively earn 5x on as many categories as you want, depending on on how many of these cards you have. This is going to be where you earn the majority of your Citi points that you can then transfer over to American Airlines. I don't see one reason why you wouldn't want this card, to be honest, but moving on to the second must-have card with the Citi Double Cash. Now, if you have multiple custom cashes, most of your spend will probably just be going on those cards, but there are obviously times when you need to buy something outside of one of those categories. And that's where the Citi Double Cash comes in, where you can get 2 points per dollar on every single purchase. Now, with just these first two cards, you're already earning so many points super quickly. And that's one of the strongest advantages to being in Citi's ecosystem. The fact that you can basically have elevated rates on mostly every spend category, unlike Chase where you're getting 3x on dining on 4 or 5 different cards, but yet no gas or grocery multipliers. But obviously, if you're earning all these points, you're going to need access to American Airlines transfers, and the card I'd recommend for that is the Citi Strata Premier. If you have 4 Citi custom cashes, then the 3x earnings on dining, groceries, gas stations, and travel won't help you much, but either way, it's hard to deny that this card's earning categories might be the most overpowered multipliers from one singular card in the entire credit card world, which is why this is going to be one of the first Citi cards I apply for, if not the first. Because with just this card alone, I know I'll have some great earnings, and then I can just expand from there by acquiring multiple Citi custom cashes to earn even more points. And with the Strata Premier, you can transfer all those points you earn from any Citi Thank You Point earning card to American Airlines at a 1-to-1 rate. Meaning if you transfer over 60,000 Citi Thank You Points, you'll get 60,000 American Airline miles. This will most likely be the main use case for my own Citi points, just because American Airline miles are really hard to come by, and I also live 20 minutes from an American Airlines hub, so it just makes a lot of sense for me by using my Citi points this way. And one other thing to bring up is that if you're traveling internationally, then all these precious Citi custom cashes as well as Citi double cashes have foreign transaction fees of 3%. The Strata Premier has no foreign transaction fees, making this card the absolute GOAT for international traveling, earning you 3x on dining, supermarkets, and gas stations. Nice to haves. But moving on to the nice to haves tier, starting with the Citi AAdvantage Platinum Select card. Now this card isn't a thank you point earning card, but since it's earning American Airline miles and the main use case for most people with Citi points is going to be transferring to American Airlines, I figured this card would make a lot of sense. Now obviously the cards I mentioned previously beat out this card's multipliers, but that's not why we want this card. Rather, a good reason to get this card is if you fly domestic flights on American Airlines frequently. And that's because you get your first check bag free on domestic flights for each flight you take. So assuming you fly a good amount, this could give you some insane value over the course of a year, since check bags are usually around $40 one way and $80 round trip. So if you take just 2 trips a year, this card pays for itself, and anything after that is just straight profit. You also get preferred boarding, which is Group 5 in American Airlines, so you get to board the flight before Group 6 and everyone below that. So it's a pretty good perk if you want to guarantee your overhead bin space. And of course you get 25% off food and beverages on the flight, so overall it's definitely not a must-have, but if you fly a lot with American, the AAdvantage Platinum Select card is such a no-brainer to have, or at least a nice to have. Moving on to the second card in the nice to have tier is the Citi Strata card. Now this is one of 2 cards that just recently dropped, and honestly there isn't much to offer. Of course it has a nice sign up bonus of 30,000 points, but that'll probably go down to 20,000 points in a couple of months. Besides that, it seems mostly a Citi Strata Premier downgrade, at least all except one thing, that being earning 3x on an eligible self-select category of your choice. And like I mentioned, your options are fitness clubs, select streaming services, live entertainment, cosmetic stores, barbershops, hair salons, or pet supply stores. Now, there's already a lot of cards with streaming services and entertainment, but fitness clubs, pet supply stores, and barbershops could actually be pretty lucrative for the right person and are hard multipliers to come by. Now, for me personally, this card probably won't make a lot of sense for me, as I have a home gym, I don't have a pet, and I cut my own hair. But I'm sure that a lot of people pay for a gym membership, have pets, and don't cut their own hair. And if that's the case, then this card could be an easy pickup for you. And while you could get the Wells Fargo Attune card to earn 4% back in basically all the same categories, they can't transfer to American Airlines, so if that's a big priority for you, then the Strata card still makes a lot of sense at the 3x. Cards to avoid. Now for the only card on the cards to avoid tier, and since it's in the thumbnail and you haven't heard me talk about it yet, you all know which card I'm talking about. Say it with me now in 3, 2, 1, the shitty Strata Elite, or my bad, Citi Strata Elite. This is the second of 2 new cards that just came out recently, but unlike the Citi Strata card where it could be a nice addition to your setup, I really don't think the Strata Elite should be in 99% of people's wallets, and it all breaks down to some very simple math. Its earning multipliers are 3x on dining and 1.5x on everything else. But as you know by now, there are cards in this list that earn the same or more than that for those respective categories. Now you do also get 6x on dining for Fridays and Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. EST, but come on, what kind of bullshit is that? I mean, I'm a credit card optimizer for sure, but that's just doing way too much. And if your dining is under $500 for the month, then you could hypothetically just use a Citi Custom Cash to earn 5x on dining no matter the time or day. So these multipliers are really just a slap in the face, and also a huge downgrade from the last premium Citi card, the Citi Prestige, that earned an uncapped 5x back on dining. So you get a trash hotel credit and an overpriced chauffeur service credit, which are both useless. Now I will say the $200 splurge credit actually seems decent, where you can spend it on American Airlines flights, Best Buy, or Ticketmaster and more, with what seems to be pretty light restrictions. But for a $595 annual fee, I expect way more than $200 of useful credits. Because for this hypothetical effective annual fee of $395, all you really get is a priority pass membership, 4 passes to the American Airlines Admirals Club, and a TSA pre-check or global entry credit, which I would definitely not pay $395 for collectively. So I'm honestly going to say this is the worst premium travel credit card out of the big four: Amex, Chase, Capital One, and Citi. I definitely would not recommend this card to anyone except those that are just getting it for the 80,000 points and then downgrading it to a second custom cash in your second year of holding the card. So after going through all my personal rankings for these cards, what cards am I planning to apply for myself and in what order? Well, first, I think I have to start with the Citi Strata Premier because I'll instantly get access to American Airlines transfers as well as 3x earnings on dining, groceries, and gas stations, as well as the 60,000 points to start my Citi journey right. Then from there, I think I'll apply to a Citi Custom Cash to start earning 5x on probably gas stations, as well as the 20,000 point welcome offer. Then I'm thinking of getting the AAdvantage Platinum Select card for hopefully an elevated welcome offer of 80,000 AA miles, and then the ability to get my first check bag free and preferred boarding. And then from there, I'll just try to get more Citi Custom Cashes by applying for cards such as the Double Cash, Strata, or even Elite, and then product changing them to another custom cash after the first year, while simultaneously earning their respective welcome offers. But that's all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all now have all the information you need to make an educated decision for yourself on which cards out of the Citi Quinfecta and beyond you should get. I'd love for y'all to keep this conversation going down below on what your dream Citi setup looks like. If you guys want to support the free content I provide on this channel, consider grabbing some merch. I just dropped some essential tees with my logo, and they're only $12.50 on my website, which is always the first link below. I also offer hoodies and free tools there as well. Thank you guys so much in advance. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you enjoyed the video, because just like credit card points, it's free. Apparently only 10% of you guys are subscribed, so let's try and get that number up a bit. If you want to see why I got the Amex Platinum card at 21 years old, consider watching this video next. Also, YouTube thinks you'll like this one. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you on the next one.